From the capital city of Charleston, West Virginia, this is Inside West Virginia Politics with Mark Curtis. Inside West Virginia Politics is brought to you by AARP West Virginia, your ally for real possibilities in the Mountain State.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Inside West Virginia Politics. I'm Mark Curtis, along with my co-host Adrian Robbins, and we are at the beautiful West Virginia Governor's Mansion, and our guest is First Lady Cathy Justice. Great to have you on the program again.
Welcome to our house here today. We're glad you're here.
Thank you. We were here a few months ago to talk about the Communities and Schools program, which is your main initiative as First Lady, and obviously the schools are now in session and there's stuff to report on. So let's talk and get an update. First of all, what is Communities in School? How does it work, and what's the goal of it?
Well, Communities in Schools is a national program that we have brought to West Virginia. We're now in 11 counties. It's a program that we're involving the communities, as just it says, in the schools. We're getting people in the schools that have an interest in the kids, just an adult who's a loving, caring person to almost mentor these children and make a difference in their lives.
And now we're a couple weeks into the school year, obviously. What are you seeing so far for the program this particular year?
Well, we're seeing just great things. People are becoming more involved. We're seeing a real high quality of people applying for the jobs in the schools, like the administrators and the site coordinators. We're seeing people that are already professional people that want to help and become a part of this. This is our big thing right now. We're seeing a lot of an improvement in attendance that it's just this early in the year. So that's a biggie that we're trying to overcome, and if children don't get at school, they really can't learn very well, so we're trying to instill that in a family way.
The statistics from the initial counties that had this are amazing. 60%, 67% improvement in attendance, 80% improvement in academics, 92% promotion, K through 11, 100% graduation rate.
It's incredible.
So if they get in the program, they're going to succeed. That brings me to the difficult part of this. We know that attendance is down in a lot of schools statewide this year, and maybe not in the Communities and Schools, but other schools. How do we fix that? I mean, do you have some thoughts on how important it is to get kids in school and how you get the parents and grandparents to get them there?
Well, that is just a worldwide problem that everyone has, you know. So we're trying to educate the parents as well, and as the grandparents, which a lot of the children live with grandparents, aunts and uncles, and just not with their main family. So we're trying to let them know the importance of coming. We're trying to incentivize the children coming to school. You know, we just need to make it where they want to come to school. We have an example of a little girl in Berkeley County last year. She was a 4th grader, I think, and she didn't like school at all. She lived with a lady, a foster family, which was a wonderful lady, and she was just so nice. And she said the little girl didn't want to come to school. She just was a terrible time to come. So they started an after-school gymnastics program, and the little girl loved to come to that program. So she's now coming to school happy, and it's really made a huge difference in her life.
You talked about how this program really was put into urban areas originally, and now we're seeing it in rural areas in West Virginia. But we obviously have different problems. You mentioned the grandparents. We have quite a few grandparents here in West Virginia raising their kids. What are some of the other issues that Communities in Schools is trying to fix here in West Virginia in particular?
Well, we're trying to make children feel special. We want to make them think that they can do anything that they want to in life. That's why we have the one-on-one person that's working with the kids in the school that really cares about them, wants them to just succeed in life, be great in whatever they do. And so that's what we're trying to do, just to make them feel good about themselves and whatever they want to do, whether it be technical schools, college, whether it be elementary school, or whatever their goals are, we want to be there for them.
All right, we started with 3 schools. We went to 11 counties that have it. Is the goal to get this in all 55 counties in West Virginia, and how do we make that happen?
Oh, Mark, it would be great. That's what our end goal would be. We're so happy that, first of all, the governor has donated his entire salary to this every year, so he's really in, and education is a huge thing to him. And also the legislature, funded a lot of money this year. So we want to keep that initiative going, and we want the West Virginia to be a centerpiece, the education be a centerpiece pace of what we're doing in the state. So that's why we want to go from county to county. I'm getting calls almost weekly about people, and I'm sure they are here at the mansion as well, about different counties want to be involved in it, and we say we're getting to your county just as soon as we can. So every county wants to be a part of this, and we're going just as quickly as we can.
And also quickly, I know we're running out of time here, but you did win a national award for this program as well.
Well, I think West Virginia did. That's what we want to do. West Virginia, we just got back from Chicago, which was a great national meeting. We got this really special award, and it was because, as you all said, that we're a rural state, and they've already been in urban areas, which we're kind of the pilot school or the pilot state to go in this. So they're really behind us all the way and helping us in every way that they can.
Well, we want to let folks know if they're interested in learning more about communities and schools, they can go on the State Department of Education website and learn how to get that in all 55 counties in the state. We want to thank First Lady Cathy Justice for being here. We're going to continue our discussion of education in the state with Dave Perry, the president of the State Board of Education. So stay with us on Inside West Virginia Politics.